Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be working on the Toyota Supra that's right here behind me. It is in need of some wheels and we finally got everything in to work on it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before that, I've got a package coming in for the abandoned Nissan Skyline. It's supposed to be here next day, so we should expect it any moment now. Well, this is the package that we got from Braum Racing. Even though it was fragile, they decided to drop it on the Skyline. I don't know what that's about, but we do have a new seat. This is a partial sponsor from Braum, so thank you very much for doing that. This car was in need of some seats. As you can tell, there are none. Oh God, it's filthy in there. This was the original seat that was in the Nissan Skyline. As you can tell, it's ripped there, and I don't want that in there. I'm probably gonna sell that one, and then this is the factory OEM seat, and it just doesn't look good. And I want the interior to look really, really good. So Braum Racing ended up sending out a seat for me, and we're gonna kind of review it and see how good it is, but that's gonna be in another video. Today I just wanna show you exactly what it looks like and my first reaction to getting our brand new seat. So this is my first seat that I've ever ordered before. I have no clue what to expect. I've seen pictures of it online. I'm hoping it's good. It feels good so far. So this is supposed to be carbon Kevlar on the back. I specifically wanted it because I'm doing some gold accents. Oh my God, that's actually a lot better than I expected it. Holy crap. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now I'm really happy with what I got. Holy crap. I love it. That's awesome. Well, that's gonna be the new Braum seat for the Nissan Skyline. I'm really excited for it, so thank you, Braum, for sending it out and helping me get it. I was really worried that I wasn't gonna like it in person because there's like 3 or 4 different options that I had to choose from, and that one on camera or on picture, I didn't really feel for it, but seeing it in person, actually owning it now, I love it, and now I need to get a second one, so we have a perfect matching interior. Now let's get back to the Supra. So the plan for the Supra, as you can tell, we're on the stock OEM wheels, which I think do look great, and they have grown on me a lot, but I have my ESRs, which match the livery design that I've made for this car. They're not the perfect fitment because these are 5x114, this is 5x112. So I do have an adapter kit to make everything fit, and the tire for the rear, it's not gonna fit at all. So at some point we will have to upgrade this to something bigger. That's how small the wheel is with tire. And then if you look back, there's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of tire from the factory one. So it's gonna be a little bit small, it's not gonna look the best, but I'm gonna run it anyway for right now, just so I can get the visual look and see if it's something I like. If I hate it, I will just take it off and go back to something else, or run one of these wheels here, because that's also 5x114. So the adapter kit that I'm gonna be running is from Euro Tuning. They have a little stud conversion kit, and it goes from the factory 5x112 to 114.3. I don't know why that works, but it's a very close fitment, and it will center off the lug nut, not off the wheel itself. So there might be some vibrations there. Most people, you run a hub-centric ring whenever you upgrade to another wheel. I can't do that because it's not the same lug pattern. So we're just gonna have to center it off the lug nut. And if there's any vibrations, I might be able to get away with fixing it with wheel weights, because I know one of them fell off and we'll have to get it rebalanced anyway. So I'm hoping that all this works. I've never done anything like this before. Typically it's a wheel spacer. So we're just gonna take everything off, install it, see if it looks good, and if I hate it, we'll just remove it. I
hate BMW studs.
Same, which is why we are swapping to something that's better. I just looked up the torque specs for this, and it's showing 10 foot-pounds. I went ahead and did a little bit more than that just to play it safe, because I'm not entirely sure why this is 10 and the lug nuts themselves are going to be like 80 foot-pounds. That's a little weird to me, and I want to be safe, so it's a little bit more than 15, not too much, or a little bit more than 10, not too much, so hopefully that works. Time to figure out if I'm going to hate it or love it. Well, I mean, the wheel gap is absolutely horrible. So that kind of sucks, but the wheel itself looks good. I think it gives it the race car look that it's going for. I can't do that gap. So at some point, I will either switch back to the factory wheels or run this until I can get either a lowering spring or coilovers for this. That way you can drop it down to the right height. The other thing I can do is get a bigger sidewall tire, because this is a 30. Yeah, I don't know where it's at, but this is a 30 sidewall, so it's very, very, very small. And I think if I was a 35 or 40, it'd be even better. 40 will probably be way too tall and rub all the way up to here and just look way too fat. So I might have to upgrade the Toyos to something else. I know the fronts are going to be okay because they're closer to that actual sidewall size, but that's just, it's okay. Now onto the front one to see if I like it overall. Well, here's what the final results of the wheels look like. Obviously, the rear is not going to work. That tire is just way too small, and the wheel gap is horrendous. I think this tire is actually taller than the rear. Yeah, it's so much taller in the front than it is in the rear, so that's got to change. The only wheels they have for the Toyo R888s is a 305 35/18, so I'm probably going to have to do a 305. This is currently a 295, and it fits pretty perfectly, honestly. If you look at that, it does poke a little bit, so the 305 might poke a little bit more. And eventually, I'm going to get some rear lowering springs or adjustable lowering springs so we can drop it about an inch or two as well, because I think doing that will change the whole look of the car and make it just look a lot better. Now, doing this install, this is the first time I've ever had lug bolts on a car instead of just regular lug nuts or wheel studs, and it's not that difficult of an install, but it feels very sketchy and weird that the torque settings for just the stud itself is supposed to be 10 foot-pounds. I feel like that's a little too little, but I went to spec, I went to what the website said. I went a little bit over, closer towards 15 foot-pounds, but I'm cautious with that. So I'm gonna drive this for about 15 to 25 miles. It says 25 to 50, but I'm gonna recheck the torque settings, just make sure everything's good to go. VTT 5x112 to 5x114.3 is the kit that I used. So it's pretty easy if you have a Supra and you wanna run 5x114.3 wheels instead of running the 5x112. It's really easy to install. Like I said earlier, it's going to be centered off the lug nut, not on the actual hub itself. So it's a little iffy there too. Most people, again, would run a hub-centric ring, but that's not how this is done. This is actually centered off the lug nuts themselves. And again, it's sketchy, but it works. I've driven it all day today, and it actually feels pretty good. I don't have any vibrations or any complaints. Just a lot of road noise. By the way, the Toyo R888Rs have a ton of road noise, if you did not know that. I don't know if I like that. It's kind of annoying. Once I get the exhaust, I think it'll be a lot better. It's just the road noise right now is louder than the rest of the car, so that kind of sucks. There's no rubbing, I've double checked that. The spacing on the caliper, by the way, it's gonna be really hard to see, but the spacing on the caliper is like paper thin. It's not rubbing the wheel, but it's very, very close. And then coming to the front, it's the exact same. It's actually closer up here than it is in the rear, but everything fits. There's no rubbing. I'm happy with it. It looks pretty good. I mean, especially from this view here, I really like it. Now, I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate on the ESRs because they're ripped, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's what I had. I don't have to spend money on more wheels. I just need to do the conversion kit, and then I can run whatever I want on this. I'm happy with it. I like the ESRs. I think they look good. They feel great. It actually turns better on the ESRs than it did on the Supra wheels, so that's a little weird because these feel slightly heavier, but they might be lighter. I don't really know. Regardless, I like them, happy with them. If you're on a budget, I do recommend them. They're pretty good quality, so check them out as well. And other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. The next time we're gonna be installing the rear spoiler and the rear spat that's down over there. I've got to carbon one of those, and then I need to finish the front bumper. And once we do that, the car will be pretty much, I would say 90% of the way there. The only thing left that I have to do is the exhaust, which we are in the works of trying to do that as well. It's just going to take a little bit longer because we are going to do a fully custom exhaust on this. I have a friend who's going to help me with that, and it's going to be about $800 in labor, plus about $400 to $500 in parts, plus $800 that I've already spent for the HKS style exhaust, when honestly I should have just ordered an exhaust for this car. It would have been much cheaper. This was my budget way of trying to do something cool and different, and it's actually probably going to be more expensive, but that's okay. It'll look really good, be one of a kind, and it's just gonna make the whole Supra stand out even more than what it already does. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and you're excited for future content, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and then leave a comment telling me how you feel about the Supra. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I love it. It's my car. I'm supposed to love it, and it's definitely no longer a 6 out of 10. I would give it probably closer to an 8 out of 10 once we fix everything else, like the exhaust, the wing, front lip, side skirt, rear spat. Then it's gonna be a 10 out of 10. But there's a whole lot left to do on this car, and I'm really excited to get it finally to where I really, really like it. So yeah. Anyway, stay awesome. Later, guys. Yeah, basically right after I say we should be expecting it any moment now. As soon as like I say that, it's dropping. It was supposed to be next day air, so we should expect it here any moment now. That was the perfect take! The stuff that goes on behind the scenes is so frustrating. Okay.